everyone, Emily's here. Starting over in a new country or city is one of the most challenging yet rewarding experiences you can have. Whether you are moving for work, study, or just for a change of scenery, the journey of uprooting your life and planting somewhere unfamiliar can teach you some of the most valuable lessons you just can't get any other way. I just celebrated my 38th birthday last month, and once again, it was another birthday spent alone in a foreign country. I've spent most of my life on traveling, so hopping from one place to another isn't a massive deal for me anymore, but it's still a journey full of lessons. So today, I'm sharing the 5 biggest lessons I learned by moving to a new country alone, from the simplicity of living with less to managing finances, finding a job, learning the language, and taking care of my mental health. These insights have not only helped me survive the transition, but also thrive in my new environment. So let's start with one of the biggest aspects of moving: accommodation. After this experience of settling down in Canada, I realized something crucial. Moving doesn't have to be a massive ordeal. I came here with just 2 suitcases because I was just planning to travel here. I arrived here in early March 2024 with only just some travel clothes, essential skincare product, and my camera. Now that winter is fast approaching in Canada, I don't even have a down jacket. But as it turned out, I managed to build a life with what little I had. Here's what I learned. You don't need as much stuff as you think. We often overestimate how many things we need to be comfortable. The truth is, you can live with far less and still be happy. In fact, having fewer belongings has made me more adaptable and less burdened by moving. When I first arrived, I traveled around a lot, visiting Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, and Quebec, and I just absolutely fell in love with this place. So I stayed in an Airbnb to transition into long-term accommodation. And by the way, in my last video, I shared the whole story of how I found my perfect apartment in just 1 week without using a realtor. So if you are interested, make sure to click the link. This was one of the smartest decisions I made. It gave me the time to settle in, get a feel for different neighborhoods, and make a more informed choice about where I wanted to live permanently. So my advice is to start small, prioritize essentials, and let the rest come as you settle in. It's not like you're moving to the middle of nowhere, right? Anything you need, you can easily buy locally. And another thing you might want to try is embracing minimalism. I started practicing material minimalism about 4 or 5 years ago because I realized that too many positions were cluttering my mind, making it harder to focus. It's been a fantastic change. Both my physical and mental health have improved so much thanks to minimalism. So if you want to try a minimalist lifestyle, moving is a perfect time. Next up is a financial aspect of moving. One of the most significant lessons I learned was the importance of having a solid understanding of my finances. Okay, moving to Vancouver, one of the most expensive cities in the world, was fantastic, but meanwhile, a wake-up call. Here's what I did. I sat down and mapped out all my expenses, from rent to grocery, transportation, and even entertainment, right? I created a budget that would not only cover my daily needs, but also allow for some savings. That's also why I chose to live and work in Abbotsford. It's a city that around 15 minutes drive from Vancouver. The reason I chose to settle down here, aside from my job being based here, is also because it's about staying within my financial limits right now. This exercise was crucial in giving me peace of mind and a clear plan for managing my finances. The key takeaway here is that before making such a big move, make sure you have a clear financial plan. Understand the cost of living in your new city and how it compares to what you're used to. It's also a good idea to have an emergency fund set aside for any unexpected expenses that may arise. Financial stability is a significant part of feeling secure and confident in a new place. You know what? Financial management is something I've never really learned before. It's a shame, I know. And the reason are both simple and complex. I have to say, growing up, I wasn't that kind of materialistic person at all. My needs were always simple, so I never had to think much about money. But now living independently and wanting to take better care of my parents, I'm realizing, oh, I need to make money from now. I will talk about them in a future video. So now it's become a top priority in my life. So for anyone, financial reality checks is really crucial. And this brings me to the next lesson I want to share. Find a job. Finding a job in a new city isn't just about earning money. It's about integrating into your new environment. So one of the best decisions I made after moving was to find a job locally. I know there are plenty of people in Vancouver who don't have to work. They have old money and can enjoy life freely. Wow, that's cool. But for most of us, even middle class, we have to either work hard or work smart to make ends meet and maintain our social circles, right? So having a job did wonders for my financial situation. But even more importantly, it helped me build a new social circle and give me a sense of purpose. Especially when you are in a new environment, it's easy to fall into a phase where you feel just directless. I've been traveling for years, so I know when you move to a new place, it's exciting but so easy to feel disconnected or isolated. Trust me, even someone like me who loves solitude can feel lonely in a brand new and unfamiliar environment, especially considering there's a 13-hour time difference between China and Canada, which means when it's daytime here, my friends and family are asleep back home. Sometimes it just hit me so hard, and then the loneliness sets in. Over time, it's so easy to feel lost. So having a job not only provides structure to your day, but also introduces you to new people and routines. So thanks to my current job, I've made friends with locals, and I've got colleagues from all backgrounds, white, Mexican, Indian, and more. It's an opportunity to immerse myself in the local culture, improve my language skills, and create a network of friends and colleagues. So if you are moving to a new city or country, I highly recommend looking for a job as soon as possible. It doesn't have to be your dream job right away, right? Even a part-time position can provide valuable social connections and have a sense of belonging. And speaking of language, it brings me to my next point. Learning the local language is essential. When I first got here, I was reminded of how crucial it is to communicate effectively in the local language. Even though I just could get by with English, I realized that to truly connect with people and understand the culture, I needed to improve my language skills. That's also why my YouTube channel features so much content on English learning. It's part of my life. Plus, I genuinely enjoy learning new language. But learning the local language isn't just about being able to order food or ask directions. It's about building deeper connections with the people around you. It shows respect for their culture and opens up new opportunities, right? Both personal and professionally. So my advice is to start learning the language as soon as you decide to move. Even if you're not fluent, making an effort to speak the local language goes a long way in making you feel more at home and integrated into your new environment. Plus, it's a great way to challenge yourself and grow, right? Actually, it's also the reason I started this YouTube channel, exploring different ways to learn English. Finally, let's talk about mental health. Honestly, because I've been on traveling and constantly on the move, I never really thought that moving to a new place could affect me mentally. But there's a big difference between traveling and actually living in a new country. Moving to a new country or city alone is incredibly exciting, but it can also be overwhelming and at times lonely. So it's also important to acknowledge the emotional challenges that come with such a big life change. For me, when I come to this realization, taking care of my mental health was a priority. I knew that being in a new environment away from family and friends would be tough at times. There were moments when I deeply missed the familiar comforts of home and the people I left behind. But at my 38, I just know that whatever choices you make, you're going to give up something else. That's just reality we have to accept. You can't have it all. So about mental health, what I learned is that it's essential to create a comfortable environment for yourself in your new home, whether it's decorating your space to make it feel more like home or establish a daily routine that brings you comfort. These small acts can have a big impact on your mental well-being. Okay, for example, the couch in my Canadian home is almost identical to the one I had in Shanghai apartment back in China. It gives me such a strong sense of home and familiarity. And another example is I've kept my routine of starting each day with a glass of smoothie, just like before. And from that simple habit, I've slowly built up a new routine for my life here. But comfort shouldn't lead to complacency. So it's important to stay engaged with your surroundings, continue challenging yourself, and seek out new experiences. When you stop engaging, when you stop growing, that's when the universe will step in and forces you to change. And trust me, that's often less fun than if you do it on your own terms. So my advice is to strike a balance. Yes, create comfort, but don't check out. Find ways to stay engaged, whether it's by exploring your new cities, new communities, meeting new people, or setting personal goals. Taking care of your mental health means staying connected to both your inner world and the world around you. Well, starting over in a new country or city is a journey filled with challenges and growth. The lessons I've shared today are all crucial steps in creating a fulfilling life in a new place. For me, moving is not just about changing your location. It's about transforming yourself. Embrace the journey, the ups and downs, and most importantly, keep growing. So see you in the next video. Bye!